Welcome. Before we begin, a brief caution. Some of the movements and exercises in the video may not be suitable for everyone. If you have any questions or concerns about your ability to safely perform these exercises and movements, please stop immediately, consult with the appropriate member of your healthcare team, and only proceed when all of your questions and concerns have been appropriately addressed. And now, let's dive in. In this video, we're taking a look at the seated warm-ups. One of the things I like best about the Tai Chi for Health programs, Tai Chi for Arthritis and Fall Prevention, is that they're very accessible to a much wider audience than traditional martial arts programs. So in this video, we'll take a look at doing the warm-ups as we're seated, and bear in mind that you can combine these, so you can do some of the warm-ups seated, some of them standing, depending upon what you want to work on. So having a knowledge of how to do them seated is just another tool in your toolkit of Tai Chi techniques and practices. So to begin, obviously, we need a chair, ordinary dining room chair here. Key thing is that it's nice and sturdy and stable and won't move around on me. And it's sized for me so that my feet can be flat on the floor with good firm contact. All the rules of posture and breathing apply whether we're seated or standing. So we want to be nice and upright in the chair with a straight spine, the silk thread pulling our head up to the heavens. If you can manage it, I find it's most useful to be sitting a couple of inches out from the back of the chair, but if you need back of a chair for support, that's okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the warm-up exercises and talk through each one, and then I'll do it all together as a set. So to begin, we're going to just loosen up. We may not be walking around, but we can smile, we can exercise our fingers, we can move our feet a little bit just to give the body an activation signal, a wake-up signal that we're going to go to work. So to begin, the first warm-up, sitting nice and tall, and I'm breathing nice and regularly, just as if I was doing the warm-up standing. And we're going to slowly raise our hands up to shoulder level. Turn the palms and tuck the chin in. Drop the elbows. Hands come back. They go out. And my eyes follow my hands down. So as I'm doing this, my feet are flat on the floor, equally weighted, and my sit bones are also equally weighted. Second neck warm-up. Our hands are about the width of our head, and I'm going to drop one hand and turn the other palm in, and now make a nice smooth circle following the hand with my eyes looking out over the fingertips in a nice unfocused gaze, slowly coming back to center in a slow, smooth, consistent movement, switching hands and continuing to look out over the hand, over the fingertips. And I'm coming to about half the range of motion, and then slowly coming back to the middle. We might do more repetitions of that in class, and you certainly are welcome to, but for the purposes of the video, I'll just do that. Now, I'll point out that as I was turning, I'm shifting on the sit bone in the direction of travel. So in this case, I'm going to my right, and my right sit bone is pushing down, my right foot is pushing down, helping me to get a little bit of a turn in the Tai Chi waist. And similarly, as I'm switching on this side, pushing down on the left side, and that's helping me to turn. So that's how I manage the simulating the turning. Moving on now to the shoulders. We'll do our shoulder rolls, visualizing that joint expanding and nice, small. You can draw circles on the side of your chair if you want. And then the second shoulder exercise coming up. And again, to only about forehead level. We don't have to go too high. And we gently float down the center line. Now, as you can see, especially from this exercise, having an armless chair is preferred because it gives you additional movement. So you can do it in a chair with arms, but in that case, you probably want to scoot a little further to the front of the chair so that the arms don't interfere with you. Okay, so now for the next exercise, we're going to let our hands float up, and we're going to have the top hand float down the center line as the bottom hand comes up to the forehead and turns. And we can experiment, as we're doing with this, pushing down on the left sit bone or the right sit bone can give you a different sensation. And the palms past each other, and the energy points in the center of the palm glide past each other. So that's always a very positive thing. And you may feel a slight tingle there. For the next spine exercise, we'll hold our ball, and we're going to turn in the direction of the upper elbow. So in this case, turning towards my left. And as my hands get in line with the outside of my thigh here, I'm turning my ball over, and in a nice, smooth, continuous movement, coming back to the other side. And now the weight is shifting over into this foot, this sit bone, and I come over to about here, flip my ball over, and bring it back to the center. So seated is a very good exercise if you have a tendency to over-rotate and go past your thigh because of the muscles here. There's a natural sort of break that says, okay, this is as far as you should comfortably go. So this can be a good training exercise as well for that. But in general, the same rules apply. In particular, slow, smooth, continuous movement. Next up, we're going to go allow our hands to float up. And as they float back, I put all the weight on one side and step forward with the empty leg. And then as my hands go up, I step back, forward, front of the foot touches down. Switching sides, I'll put the weight into this leg, and as my hands go back, the heel touches down. And you can test yourself by lowering the front of your foot as well to see if that is comfortable. And then as we step back, the front of the foot touches down. For this next exercise, we'll extend our left hand, put the side up, the right palm, look in the direction inside of the elbow. Another good point for exchanging energy there. And what we're going to do is we're going to step out and step in, and then sweep the weight, shift the weight into this sit bone, and then step out and step in and sweep. Put it over here. I can step. I step in and I sweep. Weight over here, step out, step in, and repeat. So very similar to what we do when we're standing. The key thing is to make sure that your feet are staying in contact with the earth, with the ground, and that you're sitting nice and upright to get the full benefit from the exercises. Okay, so now this next one, we're going to have our loose Tai Chi fists. I'm going to put all the weight into one sit bone, one foot, and with the empty one, just touch down the front of the foot. And as we do, we punch forward, and then we peel up, step back. Shift the weight to the other side, step forward, touching just the front of the foot down. And then bringing it back. And I'm taking care as I'm moving to pick up the knee. Touch. If you get in the habit of doing this, just shuffling back and forth, it's fine on a floor like this, but in the real world, where you don't have nice smooth floors like this, shuffling will get you into trouble. So I think a defined pick up the knee, touch down the front of the foot, and then punch is the best way to go. Okay. For this next one, you may want to scoot forward a little bit even more on your chair. Again, with the open fists down here, we'll step with the empty foot, back of the foot, front of the foot, punch. Peel up the front, pick up the knee, come back. Shift the weight into that side. Heel, toe, punch. And you can try to synchronize so that as your toe hits the ground, your punch has extended as far as it's going. You don't want to lock any joints, obviously, and you want the elbow to be below the level of the shoulder, but you still want to be able to get that upper body, lower body coordination, synchronization, one of the big challenges in Tai Chi, and this is an excellent place to practice that. Once we've done our knee exercises, we'll move down to the ankles, and we cross our hands over the lower dantian and shift all our weight into one sit bone, one foot, and with the empty one, move forward, heel, toe, step back, put the weight on that side, heel, toe. Okay. And now we'll roll the ankles from side to side. So shift the weight, and with the empty one, the outside to the inside. And same thing on this side. And then step back. After we've concluded as many repetitions of that as we want, we'll just let the energy settle for a second, and then we'll shake it out. So there you have the warm-ups in their seated variant. And as I say, feel Feel free to mix and match standing warm-ups and sitting warm-ups. You may want to work on one thing particularly using one or the other, but consider it another tool that you can take advantage of. And I'll see you in the next video.